Hello again at Sharp Fritz. I've been thinking about your last question. My conclusion, you should probably stick to eating cake instead of writing code.
Oh man. This is going to be different today. We're going to go through a couple things here. We'll get through. We will. Oh boy. Yeah, we're right over here, right? There we are. How you doing there, friends? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is June 25th, 2026, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? I got to admit, I'm a little flustered. I've been running around a little bit. That's why I started late. We're going to get into this. We're going to get somewhere. It's going to be okay. Let me say hello to you out there in the chat room, and then I'll give you a little bit of an update. What's going on right over here? We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube and LinkedIn. Thank you so much to everybody tuning in. First thing here this morning, let me say hello. C Sharp Titan, hello to you. Yeah, I got the Wayland Yutani hat on. I was wearing the Nostromo hat the other day, and I thought, gotta go with the other alien hat. So it's where my Wayland Yutani Corp, building better worlds. Yeah. Let me come back to that question, C Sharp Titan, because the answer is, oh yes. How you doing, Jens? Good to see you in Denmark with the resub 55 months. Thank you so much. Loresayer on a 50 stream streak. Whoa. Whoa. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome. C Sharp is evolving quite well. I'm going to show you how the C# Evolved website is growing and how I want to get you involved. And not just you, Lore Sayer, but how I can get more of you involved that are out there watching in how we're growing and building this website. And then how it's going to become part of trying to grow and show folks and help folks improve their applications with C#. Billy Cool, hello. McNets, good to see you. Robson Previato is here. I replied to your direct message, and I might be able to do a little more research on that, but I can yeah, let me do a little more digging and I'll get back to you. So great to see you, friends. Here's the deal. Here's where I've been scrambling and my frustration this morning. Last night, I was playing Overwatch, C# Titan. Love the new season of Overwatch. I think there's 2 or 3 significantly overpowered characters in this season. Not just this season, but this year. And I'm looking at you, both Sierra and Vendetta. Oh my lord. As I'm in the middle of playing, things start getting crackly in my headphones. And I'm like, all right, what is that? And I tune and adjust some things on my mixer over here. And game ends, and all of a sudden, and then it cuts out. My audio completely cuts out, and I look over at my mixer to go and see, are we getting audio coming through, and adjust some settings, and screen goes dead. That's weird. Turned it off, turned it back on, won't turn on. Okay. Pulled the power, turned it off, gave it 5 minutes, plugged the power back in, turned it back on, nothing. My audio mixer is kaput. Now, my track record with these Mackie mixers are that they last about 3 years and then literally they start falling apart. Like, this is my 3rd mixer that I've bought from them. 3 years, and literally they parts die, things just fall apart, things just stop working in them. I've sent an email to their warranty department because I'm just under 3 years that I've owned this one, asking for help, asking for a fix, and we'll see. So right now I'm on backup devices, and I hope the microphone sounds good. How does my audio at least sound somewhat normal there, chat? Let me know. I'll get some music playing in the background. So I'm going to be playing everything locally because I can't mix from 2 machines like I normally do here. So I'm going to run over here to Spotify, and yeah, I'm going to get the I can't even see what playlist this is. Right? Oh man. Like, I'm used to having so many things just set, and we roll with it, and that's the deal. Yeah, let me go with the Stream Beats Synthwave playlist, and jump down here, and this is called Chromatic Cruise. Sounds fine? Fantastic. Planned Obsolescence? I don't know about that. So this is, of course, Stream Beats by Harris Heller. It's music that's DMCA free. It's royalty free. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators. Well, unless I close Spotify and it doesn't just minimize. And I just completely lose my spot. Thanks. I was on Chromatic Cruise. Yes, continue playing that. Thank you. All right, there we go. So I'm on a bunch of backup gear that I have, and I've ordered another another audio device to be delivered later today, because right now I can't hear my microphone. I'm literally, I'm audio balancing off of the metrics that I see here in my in OBS, and I'm gonna pull down the background audio a little bit. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, the music was a bit louder than normal. Yeah, because it's all running on one machine right now. So, yeah, I had to stop playing Overwatch last night, but man, am I enjoying this season. I've branched out a bit. I've been playing more characters. So right now I play D.Va, right? She flies around in a mech, and it has missiles and all kinds of guns and things. Fantastic tank to play as. I'll also play as Zarya.
Well, at McNets, it seems you've found a new way to disappoint me. Lucille is not pleased.
No, not pleased at all. I also play as Zarya, so big grenade cannon that throws grenades on a very pronounced arc, but that also turns into a laser that just mows down people. She puts shields on other players. That's pretty cool. I've also started playing as Domina, one of the new characters this year. She puts up a shield that folks can hide behind. She has a laser gun, and she'll throw grenades into the back line. She's been tremendous to play as. I've really been learning to play her well. But I've started playing more of the healers. Right now, I really only play 2 healers. I play Zenyatta, and I'll play Moira. My Moira is not as good a healer as she is a third DPS. Lucille is BB King's guitar name, but it's also the name of Negan's bat. How you doing there, Texas 2010? Good to see you. That's not a location. So I've been playing those 2 healers, and I've started playing more DPS. So I'll play as Ashe, who has a shotgun and can... It's not really a shotgun, no. But it's like an old-time rifle, and is really good at shooting from a distance, almost like another sniper. I'll play as Pharah, who has a jetpack and a rocket launcher, but only has 4 rockets, and is really good at flying around and attacking. Yeah, Texas, it shouldn't have tried to look up that location. And I've started playing as Symmetra, and dropping turrets and bringing... she has a laser that she brings around. Now, something that's become a little bit strange to me, I will occasionally play as Reinhardt, but I literally haven't played Reinhardt in almost 2 years. I play all lady characters. Like, that's not by design. That's just, I like their kit. But all the Overwatch characters I like happen to be ladies. Like, the guy characters, like, I don't know why. So I'm gonna I want to learn how to play Mercy, another lady character, but she's an amazing healer. Do I want to learn how to play Lucio? Like, I know how to do the speed and health changeover features that he has, but I don't know how to do the ride on the walls things that he does. So I need to learn how to do that. So I don't know. It's called fan service, maybe. How you doing, Stony Eagle? 3 stream streak for you. Ediberto, hello, good to see you over there on YouTube. So, like, I don't have a problem with the fact that the characters that I prefer happen to be all lady characters, but like, I don't know. It just seems like a weird coincidence. So, a little sweaty but good. Yeah, I'm fighting through this audio device issue, and we will see how it turns up when I get a new device delivered a little bit later today. You know what? Voice mod's not gonna be Yeah, I don't want to tempt voice mod right now, Jens, because it's I'm going to reject that for right now because it's going to be a little bit tricky for me to try and get through. I like beefy waifus. Pellin. How you doing there, Surly Dev? Yesterday we had eight matches. 8? No, I thought it was 6 matches. Or maybe it was 8. No, it was yeah, it was 4 matches yesterday in the World Cup. South Korea is out, and South Africa is in the round of 32. Kind of weird to have first year with a round of 32 in the FIFA World Cup. So everybody's learning and figuring out this extra round of knockout here. Going to be kind of exciting. Bosnia and Herzegovina qualified, and they're going to be facing off against my side, the United States, coming up in Santa Clara, just outside of San Francisco, next week. So that's going to be an exciting match. Later today, United States is in Los Angeles, and they play Turkey. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sure I didn't. PC Nerd, good to see you in Pueblo, Colorado. Let me bring up the map. I'll bring up my map. I like my map. How you doing, Top Fuel? Hello. PC Nerd on the 70 stream watch streak. Oh, man. That is phenomenal. Thank you so much. There we go. Who the heck is... Of course. Billy is in the past in the middle of Alaska. That's a thing. Thank you so much. I'll scroll up a little bit there so we can see C Sharp Titan in Australia peeking out from behind my camera there. And then over on streamermap.live, I'm not going to work on this one today. Is Pueblo, Colorado actually in Colorado? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We got that one right today, McNets. Thanks for calling that out. Yeah. C Sharp Josh, are we gonna get the drop in New York City? Don't think so. No. Like NYC, it should pick up and drop there. Stony Eagle, no, that's not where Stony Eagle is. And Wickshire sounds fine. That's not a location. There we go. All right. So where was I? Talked about the audio issue. Talked a little about Overwatch. Can just call you Stony? Not a problem. I can make that work. Quomitter. There you go. In Buffalo. No need for formalities. Fine. Then I will not address you as Mr. Eagle. Or Ms. Eagle. I don't know. Oh no, there, I see your pronouns. Yes, Mr. Eagle. I do use the pronouns plugin. It's been a while since I've mentioned this. There's a pronouns plugin that you can install, that you can configure. Where is it? Pronounsalejo.io. So, I have this running. Mr. Eagle also, fantastic. I have this running. So, yes, it's been a while since I've used this. So, it has, when I log in to Twitch and when folks are running the pronouns plugin, right? So when streamers have a browser side to this that they run so that we can see your pronouns in the browser. Blessai, how you doing there? 33. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. But for for some of you, I've seen for a while, and you've made it clear that some of the preferred pronouns that you like to use. For other folks who want to make that clearer, and to make sure that I address you properly, I do use this plugin. You don't have to use it, but if you do, I do double check the browser. It's real easy to sign in and just choose whichever ones you'd like to be, and there's some in here that are not the typical ones. You can set that up however you'd like, and because I know there are folks out there who prefer different ones, and that's okay. Not a problem at all. And in my mind, whether you're a pronouns person or not, I want to be able to respect those folks who are. So, using that as a viewer makes it so much easier for the streamer and other viewers to address you correctly. Absolutely. And if you're a viewer and you install that plugin, you'll see the pronouns other folks would like to be addressed with as well. So, where's your pin? I don't know. So, that's right, Space Shot, right? So if you go to that link, I'll open it back up. There's links up here to the browsers so that you can go and install and get that. It's just a little badge that appears next to people's names so that we can respectfully address folks the way they need to be. Because quite frankly, if I didn't know Surly Dev, I wouldn't know Surly Dev by that name is intended to be addressed with female pronouns, male pronouns, or gender neutral pronouns. So, Franker Faces has the plugin as well. Yep. So, it's one of those things. Like I said, I can take a small step to do, and if you'd like, if you'd like to be addressed a certain way, I am happy to make sure that I adhere to that for you. Kind of makes me wish, Mr. Eagle, kind of makes me wish that there was a similar extension to that, so that it would put an appropriate nickname next to your name, right? So, for example, when folks see my nickname in chat, they're not sure whether to address me as Fritz or C#. 9.5, it literally took her the better part of a year, and until I met her in person, to not call me C# and start calling me Fritz. So, sounds like my next app, Jeremy. I think that's an easy plugin to build. There you go, on Streamer Map. Couple more folks. Thank you so much, Top Fuel, for dropping a pin in Finland. Hello. At a certain age, some people become invisible, just saying. Oh, I see. You've moved from Sao Paulo City. You're now in San Jose dos Campos. So there's the two maps. I'm not going to work on Streamer Map today. I want to show you a little bit of work that I've been doing on C# Evolved, and we'll dive in and do some more work on that website. I'd love to get your feedback on some of the features that I'm building there as we grow that. What? You thought it was C's Harp Fritz? Well, yes, it's a very musical name. Jeremy's in New Orleans. Look at that. Pindet evolved. So, these are my Gunnar Echoes that I'm wearing today. The Gunnar Echo glasses. Oh, wonderful. Doctor's office sent some documentation to the wrong place. And now I have to go drive it by hand. Yoni Torado, hello. See, I need to consolidate down to one map. I do. We'll get there. We'll get there. Let me show you where I've started and where I'm going with C# Evolved, because you can get to it now. This is the website that I'm building. This is a work assignment. This is not a Jeff Fritz thing. This is very much a Microsoft thing, but I am building it open source. I am building it live on GitHub and live here on Twitch and YouTube and LinkedIn. Hello, LinkedIn friends. Drop a comment below. Let me know you're watching. The green line is still there. Well, am I going to bring it over? Probably not. I've got other ideas of how we're going to move that forward. So, this website is available. Available is the wrong word. You can get to it at C# Evolved. GitHub.com/C# Evolved. There's the organization. There is one repository in it. There it is. And it's the source code for the website. So you can see exactly how I'm building this. It is a static website that when there's commits to the main branch, it compiles and deploys. Not bad. Like, I can work with that. I don't think the README is entirely up to date. But I've been slowly building and adding features here. I think the home page here is a bit updated since I last showed it to you earlier this week. And I think showing simple things like string interpolation improvements. I've got to fix the font there. And there's four things here that I want to show and make available that make things easier for folks to say, yeah, I want to try and use new versions of the language. I want to move forward. And not just language features, but how can you take advantage of cloud-first architecture capabilities? And I haven't even looked at what it wrote and built out here for this. So, working with Azure Functions, containers, storage, messaging and events, Redis caching, and not what I'm looking for here just yet. It is 11T. That's right. So there's work that we're going to do to grow this and move it. So help me out, Jeremy. What's exciting about seeing me using 11D? I'll wait. You're not getting the same page? Well, there's the front page. You've been using it for years and it's your favorite static site. I've been pretty happy with it. That should get you this page. So, and I'll probably put an open source link down at the bottom. The idea is there will also be snippets that you'll be able to download, drop in to help with declaring async await methods, collection expressions, extension methods, default interface members, so on and so forth. So, yeah, that didn't pop up right. File scope namespace, yeah, that's right. And then I also have documentation that it extracted from Microsoft Learn to place here. So, nice. You looked at tech because you may throw a small PR to add a repo link to the footer. Yeah, that'd be... I think that makes sense. Right now, it just says at the bottom, built for developers tracking C# language evolution. But to put in open source link over here, I think is very much in bounds. Maybe turn this into a link to an about page that says, yes, this site is built by Microsoft and built on 11D and other open source declarations that we should make here. You really like this? Is there a point of view for the goal of this site versus Learn Docs or Learn Training? Like a step beyond that, C# recipes. Yes, Space Shot. So my job right now is focused around the idea of helping folks modernize. How do we encourage and get folks modernizing into latest versions of .NET, latest versions of Java? I'm, of course, focused on the .NET side. And start taking a look and embracing cloud technologies and architecture. So what I want to do here is I want to inspire folks. I want to make it easy for folks to say, yes, I want these features. Go and let's get involved and try some of those out. So in addition to having the website here, I'm also going to stand up a daily process that will schedule and take these various language features and twice a week post on social media an article about them, both on LinkedIn and on Twitter. Probably can do it on Blue Sky also, and just have an article about, hey, have you seen the C# feature collection expressions? It was introduced in .NET 8 and allows you to blah blah. Click here for more details. That's it. On LinkedIn, maybe we include a little bit of markup that shows syntax. And just have something that does a scheduled post twice a week. Right now, I think there's 26 features. But there's, showing 26 features. I've got content for about 150 features that I'm going to end up loading on here, reviewing how they're presented, and getting them scheduled. Twice a week, 150 features. It'll last the better part of 15 months, 16 months to go through that whole cycle, and then I'll have it repeat. Or we'll add in the new features in C# 14. C# 14? Yeah. And let those roll and get presented here as well. So things like union types will come in. So, hey, Mythin, I'm doing well. So, and Chuck in Challenger Deep. Way over there. Thank you so much. Let me come back over here. Space Shot says, I like how C# has grown. It's hard to remember what's old or new, and sometimes to break muscle memory. Not to mention you may work on a team that rejected a feature you liked. It can be fatiguing. Totally agree. And that's where I want to make this feature search page a little bit available so that you can look at language versions and say, well, hang on, we're not on .NET 8. We're only on .NET 4.7. These are the features that were introduced and are available in that version. Now, there's clearly a filter issue here because I've got .NET 2.1, .NET 3.0, .NET 3.5, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7. These ones are .NET Framework. These ones are .NET Core. So we need to shuffle because that's not storing and presenting those values correctly. So let's create an issue here so we can get that. Yeah, that history of naming. Yeah. .NET Framework versus .NET Core versus .NET Ordering. We need to improve the filter and naming of the versions and ordering of those versions of the .NET frameworks around the various language features and the search page. Period. New line. New line. New line. Yeah. We need to make sure .NET Framework is earliest and first, comma, and .NET versions between 2 and 5 are referred to as .NET Core, and .NET 5 through current are all referred to as just .NET. Let's say 2 and 4. And we'll get that addressed. Yeah, well, 4.8 is missing because I didn't bring in any features that were added in 4.8. So that's why you don't see it in the box, because there's nothing... right, I haven't added all the features yet, so it's coming. How's it going there? Oops, seg faulted. My audio mixer seg faulted. That was a thing. Am I planning to roll my own social media scheduler? You've been considering a self-hosted solution, but need time to test it out. So I've already got tools that I've built that do that. So I'm kind of looking at it like, just reuse those. Repackage and schedule an Azure function to do those. So, yeah. Like, even if I used a scheduler like Buffer, and Buffer's a great tool for this, I still need something that's going to grab the content and put it into the queue. So there's got to be something that pushes that across. If I want to live dangerously, make what accessible? Sorry, Space Shot. Context, pronouns. Make the social media scheduler. Make the C# features. I think the C# features available via MCP is an interesting idea, but this is running right now on GitHub. Social media posting solution? No. 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 I would literally schedule it as an Azure function that does not have a public endpoint, that runs on a timer and wakes up once a week and schedules like the next 2 weeks worth of content. Something like that. Or wakes up on those 2 days and posts the content. And then sends a notification to someone, hey, I posted the content. So this is where I am. This is where I've been working on. How you doing, Alu? Alu the Dragon, tuning in from Michigan. The Michigan. The northern state, the state with the M. Who do we have down here? There we go. Sao Paulo City. Edberto, I'll tell you, I was in Philadelphia, not this past weekend, the weekend before, the night before the Ecuador versus Ivory Coast match. And the yellow Ecuador shirts all over the city were amazing. The spirit and the excitement for the match against Ivory Coast was tremendous. It's a shame they lost, but it brought an excitement to Philadelphia that we were so happy to welcome and be a part of. Make a social media posting solution accessible behind MCP server. Yeah, that's a bad idea. But MCP tools that can access the guidance. That could be interesting. Hey, how you doing there? M. Johnson in Shreveport, Louisiana. Hello. So, let's go back over to the website here. So, I want to build this out, the cloud first architecture, because that's kind of what they're paying for. Is, hey, get people onto Azure so they have subscriptions. Like, okay, fine. I like the idea of a snippet library to show folks and make it easier to code with these new techniques. I also like the idea of introducing analyzers that encourage folks and provide
Every
fixers.
line you write brings you closer to salvation or damnation.
Ow. That's like a Jigsaw quote. Hey, Guillermo, how you doing in Mallorca? There we go. So I like the idea of some analyzers that kind of nudge you in the right direction of getting better features into your applications. So string format turned into string interpolation, and so on and so forth. More analyzers are planned. So I'm going to grow this. And we'll have the analyzers publish out as a NuGet package for folks to be able to install and start working with. Code Red weather alert. Oh my gosh. What's going on, Johan? Is it heat? Is it storms? How you doing, Sean, in Daytona Beach? You've got an idea for a new Fritz show. Tell me about it. I need to start an internship program. 4 to 6 developers in college over the summer. The daily stand-up code reviews. The big heat wave. Ooh, good luck. Good luck with the heat wave. Edmund, I like the idea. That's called summer in Spain. Yeah. I like the idea, Edmund. Let me head back over. Right here. There's definitely a lot that we could do with that that's interesting and fun. Wow, Scherer, thank you. It's not released yet. I should put some sort of a pre-release or I'm not done yet label in the corner. It's growing. It's been around 108 Fahrenheit in Vegas recently. Well, okay, it's nice and cool this summer there. That's fantastic. Because it's usually around 120. Oh, gosh. Oh. There are so few internships out there. I show the whole dev life cycle. I think you're on to something. It's late in the cycle to do that now. Like folks that sign up for internships for the summer usually sign up in January, February, March. I like that idea, Edmund. I could see doing a mentorship with some college age developers in the fall. Let's noodle on that. I like where you're going with that. That's an interesting idea. Yeah. So not an internship, but I could do like a mentorship. Let me get back to you on that. This could be interesting. Okay, so C# evolved. I've got about another hour that I can code here. Because, of course, again, folks scheduled meetings during my stream. Ooh, going on right now is the Vibe Coder Conference from the folks at C# Corner. There's a live broadcast going on right now on the Tube of Views. It's right over
just
there.
like, sync the project with GitHub.
Yes, use GitHub. Use more GitHub. We like GitHub. My session slot has changed.
GitHub, and what this means is that,
So there are 13,000 people watching right now. Wow. Wow. I'll be over here. My session has changed, and I'll be speaking there tomorrow, 9:15 Eastern. So about my normal start time, but over on the channel over here. Okay. Yeah, I'll go figure this out. So, they didn't list the description to go with that. Whatever. So, tomorrow I'll be on with that. And, talking about and promoting and showing a little bit of Copilot. Why is everyone avoiding Blazor? For example, let me catch up with Ice Cream Stick model here. Stand by. Why is everyone avoiding Blazor? Why choose Blazor over Angular? Is there a good website somewhere that explains things in detail? Angular's built with JavaScript. Blazor's built with C# and .NET. It's a question of, for some folks, they're just more comfortable with JavaScript. For other folks, they're more comfortable with C# and .NET. Blazor has many advantages over Angular. You can access and use your entire set of .NET IP if you've been coding and you have other features, other tools that you've built in C# and .NET languages. There's integration that you can do with Blazor and PHP directly. And Blazor has the ability to choose where you want it to execute. Angular tried to do this with this idea of Angular Universal. Didn't actually get there, but Blazor has it built in. I can choose to have my Blazor code execute on the server, in the browser, or some mixture of that. So I can take advantage of WebAssembly technology and move that code so it executes in your browser, same code. I don't need to rewrite it as JavaScript. I don't have to manage different languages and features going across and managing then models between different languages. It's all the same thing, and it just runs where you tell it to run. I can run static server-side rendered. I can run some mixture of all of those things in what's called auto mode, where it'll prefer to run interactively in the browser, but if it hasn't downloaded the content in the browser yet, it'll run on the server. And it will cache in all of those locations appropriately. So Blazor has a lot of advantages. There's a very vocal group of folks out there in the tech community that will never use anything associated with Microsoft. It doesn't matter if Microsoft is giving away puppies, giving away a cure for cancer, giving away all of these for free food, paying you to use their frameworks. They will never touch a thing Microsoft does. They will not, cannot, shall not, and that's their choice. But you know what? I'm going to take the free support. I'm going to take the free capabilities, the free performance improvements that happen every year, and be happy with it. Johan uses Blazor in production, and their team is very happy with it. Blazor has server mode. We used to have less layers. We use that to have less layers and ensure data confidentiality. There you go. Jeremy says it's not Angular versus Blazor lately. It's Blazor versus HTMX when you're starting a new .NET app. Remember, a lot of these other frameworks come and go quickly, and they're open source. You can contribute to them, you can manage them, but that also means when it comes time to get support, who do you call? So HTMX was in vogue for a little bit. So folks are pivoting and going to other frameworks and tools as well. You don't think everyone would avoid Blazor, says Texas. Since everyone uses JavaScript for front end, that is why they would use JavaScript. Yeah. And it doesn't mean they're going to avoid C# for the front end. And Blazor has a fantastic story for direct JavaScript interop. Not emit some code and eventually the JavaScript evaluates it. No, you can call the JavaScript directly. You have direct access to the JavaScript virtual machine from the Blazor virtual machine. Alu uses Blazor Server for HIPAA, SOC 2, high trust, compliant applications and workflows. I use Blazor WebAssembly for fun local stuff, and I use Fluent UI work in React, WinUI 3, and Blazor overall. Nice. Robson developed a full system entirely with Blazor WebAssembly. Works beautifully. Ghostbusters? Use whatever works. Totally, yes. Use whatever works and makes you happy. I hope Blazor makes you happy. Give it a try. Hey, M. Pulowski, hello. What's the state of Web3 in .NET? Oh, yes. Who can you... I get it. I get it. Web3 is not really a thing anymore. Folks recognize that what a lot of Web3 was doing was a scam. And folks don't really talk about Web3 anymore. So, hey, how you doing there, Code with Sean? Good to see you. Let's head back over and we'll dive in and actually write some code around C# Evolved here. Yeah, I'm on the right. So we need to get the branding of these various .NET versions. Need to get that fixed. So I'm going to over here. Let me see here. Fixed, updated. Good. Let's jump into a new prompt here. I'm going to run squad. Take a look at issue number 1 on the GitHub repository. There's a visibility issue and reporting and ordering issue with the .NET Framework versions versus .NET Core versions versus .NET, period. This is a branding thing, and we need to make sure that we order them properly from oldest to newest, as well as include better notation when we reference those various framework versions. When referencing .NET Framework, we can use the label NetFX. And when we reference .NET Core, we can use the label .NET Core. Now let's fix this a little bit. It should be like that. Let it go. Yeah, Web3 was nothing but rug pulls, unfortunately. Why is SignalR technology suspected to be not production ready? I've heard folks say this because of disconnections and network stability issues, but it works fantastic at massive scale. I run into issues with it here locally because of browsers and things that restart. You don't have to use sticky sessions. You can set up SignalR with a backplane so that you don't need sticky sessions. If you're using sticky sessions, you're doing it because you're trying to save some money. So, M. Pulowski with the 15 stream streak. Thank you so much. Yeah, fixing that. Good. All right, you go do that. While you're doing that, let's figure out and talk about, we need we need to fix the contrast on that button. The contrast on the, button in the masthead. Masthead? No. In the top of the home page. Needs help. And I'll queue that up. You have a simple Azure App Service with Blazor server. No issues with connections. Yes. You're only one service, though. When you start to scale, you run into some challenge. And that's where introducing a backplane or sticky sessions is going to solve that. And quite frankly, if you've got only 2 servers, use sticky sessions. When you start to get into 4, 5, or more servers or containers, set up and use a backplane. Now, when you do start scaling and you take off sticky sessions, doesn't matter whether you're using App Service, you're using Azure Container Apps, or some other round-robin interaction, you need to enable data protection in your application, because there's a new hash key that's used for security purposes that's generated every time the service starts up. So you need to be aware that if the service restarts, anybody that was connected with SignalR, they get bumped immediately. So you need to make sure you turn on data protection. Okay? It's a little statement in Program CS, builder.add data protection, and you can specify where the key is stored. I'll store the key either in database with Entity Framework, or I'll move it over and put it in Azure Blob Storage. So it's sitting there on disk in Azure Blob Storage, and it'll automatically load that up on all of the servers every time they reboot or the containers start or what have you. So, let me see here. Has the Copilot pricing model changed my selection of model per task? I use auto a bit more. Let's do this. I'll leave it visible there so you can see. I use auto mode a bit more. I've been using the GPT models a bit more. You can see it's preferring right now to use GPT 5.3 codecs. I'm not finding that I need Claude as much. Like, using Claude for simple thing like this is like swatting a fly with a sledgehammer. I don't need those facilities. However, it's really good to use when I'm exploring and designing something. Yes, let's bring Claude into the mix. But for this type of quick fix, just use GPT. It's easier. Lou. What's my take on building native CQRS mediator support? Let's bring this up. What's my take on building native CQRS mediator support into .NET? Third-party NuGets like Mediator carry risks. Do they? Do they? What did they do with Newtonsoft? What did they do with Newtonsoft? What license risks? What license risk? I want to hear from you exactly what it is that you have concerns about. What challenge do you see? What do you mean by license risks? Somebody changing their license? What's wrong with that? First open source and free and then moved license away from open source? Okay. And? Do you make everything you make available as open source? Like, that's the dream. That's what every developer dreams of, right? Is that you build something that folks like and then they start paying you for it. Like, that's a massive thing, right? Like, if you built a website and you started getting millions of visitors, first off, you're probably going to put ads on it so that you can pay for your hosting bills. That's kind of the dream. Vendor lock-in. Okay. What's wrong with that? Like, that's not a terrible thing. There are folks that love vendor lock-in. Ask folks that enjoy using things like, I'm trying to think of an AWS service or an iPhone app. Yeah. Like, vendor lock-in's not a bad thing. If you like the vendor you're working with, if you like the framework and tools you're working with, the freedom to be able to choose the various capabilities and the freedom to have completely portable software is not something that everybody is going to give you free of charge, right? Especially something that's very popular that takes a lot of work to maintain. Like, people need to get paid. Otherwise, they can't build stuff. So, yes, Jimmy made some of his other libraries. He changed their license and made them commercial licenses. They're very popular. Jimmy needs a job. And if there's millions of people out there using it, for him to ask a couple bucks to get paid so that he can support his family and continue providing that. Jimmy's not out there buying sports cars and flying in private planes. Okay? He's making a library that he enjoys and really likes. And I don't want to speak for him because I consider him a friend. I'm happy to hang out. I've had dinner and spent some time with him. Like, these folks have families and folks they need to take care of too. So people need to get paid. Nothing wrong with that. So Microsoft enabling some of those frameworks and tools to be used directly as part of .NET. That's great. It gives them more promotion, but you don't need those advanced architectures to build something. So Sean makes a very good point here. I think it's scrolled off there. Newtonsoft is not owned by Microsoft. It's maintained by James, even though he works for Microsoft. James no longer works on the JSON team. James works on Aspire. And he's been pretty clear about what he works on social media, so I'm not speaking out of turn on that. Microsoft did not buy or acquire that, but James helped them write their own integrated version, system.text.json, that other folks at Microsoft could maintain and grow. It's important to some folks to have that open source alternative and not depend on the Microsoft option. It's also important for some folks, like governments, to not have an open source version that's maintained by somebody in the community, but have that Microsoft version. Remember, there's tens of millions of developers and organizations that use software development tools. And different folks have different licensing requirements. That's okay. But in the end, at some point, we all got to get paid. Just as you got to get paid to write code, so does James, so does Jimmy. So, what do I think about Fluent UI? You saw there's a version 2 now. Fluent UI has never done anything great for me. It's not something that I'm overly interested in or excited about. It's nice. It's a good framework. If folks like it, great. I'm not going to praise it or say everybody should use it, but it works nice and it's a consistent look and feel, and that's fantastic. A lot of apps at Microsoft use it. What if you've used the library for years and suddenly the license changes? Then don't take the next version. Then it's open source. You maintain it. You always have that option. The source is open. You manage it. Right? Fundamental question is, Jeremy's right. Do you need Mediator? Sharer says changing licenses happens for many reasons. Things become so big that your secondary job, and it burns people out. And that happened to a lot of folks in open source. Hey, Chris Funk, how you doing there in Richardson? Let me see here. Did it push this? It says it finished, and it says it's done. Yeah. Go ahead and push the changes to GitHub so we can take a look at it. And I think it also did... Yeah, okay. There's a bunch of things here that it has kind of in flight. Let's review the instructions on the README and make sure that the instructions to add a new feature are accurate. Period. I think we're going to queue up a couple features here for it to work on all at the same time and kind of go through and do a sprint and release a series of features. I want to add a flag in the corner, top right corner of this website that's on every page that says pre-release or in development, period. Yeah, add that. Cue these things up. So, So, chat, I'm hearing from several of you that you like the idea of this website and kind of growing and nudging things along here. We're getting there, right? And certainly vibe coding and delivering some of these things is going to help. There we go. It's building and deploying something right now. What's it doing? The runtime branding order. So it's... This deployment runs so fast. I mean, it should, right? Because it's just copying pages from here to there. I mean, it's on the same servers, right? Deployment queued. We're waiting for deployment. How you doing there, Jean Valjean? Coder 24601 to you. Hello. So, we'll do more work on Streamer Map next week. Bounce around and do some more work on that. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Success. Yay! So how does it look? That's better. Oh, I like the blue on evolved. But there we go. NetFX 4.5, NetFX 4.6, and if I go over to language features, .NET version, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's better. Am I going to stick to CLI or start playing with the desktop app? I can't use the desktop app. GitHub security doesn't let me log into it and work with it. I can try it again. They might have relaxed it, and I might be able to use it now. But I've used the agents mode inside of VS Code. I've used the I've used Codex. I've used anti-gravity. They're okay. Whoa, Dylan! Dylan! Hello! Welcome in, Raiders! Whoa, Nelly! Hey there, friends. Welcome in. How you doing out there? My name is Jeff Fritz. Yeah, how you doing, Ira Awesome? Thanks so much. Appreciate that. There's a follow. How you doing there, Raiders? My name is Jeff Fritz. You can find me on all the places out there. I am C# Fritz. We're talking about a website. Hey, look at this. Look at the follows. We're working on a website today that teaches folks about new features of the C# programming language so that if you are looking at a project that's older, you can see here's the features that aren't available to you, or be able to discover those and decide, hey, I do want to migrate forward and take advantage of and learn about some of these great new capabilities. So Raiders, how you doing? What was Dylan working on over there? Let me know in chat. And I have a map. I have a map. It's a map. It's a map. Say hello. Give me a greeting in chat with your location. And we'll add a map, a pin, a hat indicator, because I've got a thing for hats. So I've got little hat icons that will drop on this map. You can be as accurate or as inaccurate as you'd like. I'll write things like I'm in Philadelphia. I'll write I'm in Philly, and it will add a pin for Philadelphia. There you go. And you can zoom in and see I'm not actually in downtown Philadelphia, but it's close enough. Rossum is in Colorado Springs. JP signups, St. Louis. St. Louis. We should have gotten an icon for
Wayland Mutiny Corp hat confirmed.
That's right. Copenhagen. We got Copenhagen on the map now. We should have gotten St. Louis over here. Still didn't get St. Louis. St. Louis is one of those that it struggles with because of the ST prefix. That'll work. Not maybe St. Louis. It's the it's extracting the locations is the challenge. So there we go. Miro is here. Hey Miro. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Did I watch the World Cup matches in person? No. We've got a real problem in this country with third-party ticket resellers that are not fulfilling tickets, and they're taking a lot of folks' money. So, why the different color caps? Well, so I've got folks that are watching on YouTube. So, for example, here's a good area. Let's start in the Iberian Peninsula over here. So this is Guillermo. They're watching on YouTube. Over here, outside of Lisbon, is Yanni Tirado. They're watching on Twitch viewer. And up here is McNets, and McNets is a subscriber. So now, this is my map that does the English natural language parsing. I've also been building this map that our friend Miro showed over there, and I have turned on subscriber pins for this one. This is the public version of my map. This is at streamermap.live. Folks can sign up for this. There you go. This one doesn't use the natural language processing. You actually have to tell it with the ! map command, and it will place pins on the map based on if you're a subscriber, if you're just a viewer. This only works with Twitch right now, but I can zoom in. There's all kinds of themes to the map that you can use as well here. So that's available at streamermap.live. So if I go back, so it's good to welcome in our raiders. Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, you can see on the front, I'm live there. Here's some of the other channels that are on the service. Yeah, go ahead, log in. I'll change the theme over. Let's go to, sure, we'll go to Cyberpunk. And open my map. I can see all the pins that have been placed historically on the map. I can place landmarks. So there's some of the places that folks have pinned. All right, there's our friend Sean. I should put one for myself in here. There it is. So, yeah, Kennedy Space Center is down there. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So, there you go. But anybody can request access right now. I'm slowly growing this service, and we'll get more folks online, other streamers using this service. So, thanks so much, Franskier, with a pin in Chile. There we go. Yeah. So you can browse to these, and there's a little game feature here, so you can see just some facts. You know, C# Titan is furthest from me. They're all the way down here in Melbourne. Franskier is second furthest in Santiago. Miro over there in Slovenia. So, how you doing, Decipher, in the Philippines? So, like I said, this is... Oops, hang on. This is the one that I'm evolving, right? I wrote this one for my channel as a proof of concept, and it does the natural language processing. And it works on YouTube, so those of you watching on YouTube, it picks up and maps. But, there we go. Over here, this is the one that I'm growing and will let more streamers sign up and use. It also has a tour feature, so it'll bounce around to the various locations and show you the various places where we've got folks watching. Now, right, it has a hard time with loading all the tiles. So. Hey, Codleo, hello. Yeah, we'll get a pin in Poland over there. So, it's a neat feature and something that we're growing and building here live on channel. But, yeah, there's a thing that should have appeared there that said Finland, 2 pins. So, yeah, that should have grouped those two together and not come back. So I'm working on the what's the word I'm looking for? For the dense location, and it came back and stopped where I left off. So you're welcome to browse around and take a look there. So New Zealand, oh my gosh, hope you're having a good evening there. Is it Quick Quests? Thanks so much. So, we're working on this website, C# Evolved, and I think we've got the framework versions fixed there. How we doing here? Time for some questions. The READMEs add a new feature instructions are now aligned. Are they? Are they? Show me. Background color to dark to reduce the flickering. That would help when there's dark themes. You're right. You love seeing this evolve? Thank you, Miro. So, one of the features that chat suggested about the streamer map, I'll bring it up. Here. One of the features was, hey, can we activate different capabilities using bits? So if we're on Twitch, I'd like to be able to use bits to activate various features. And I think that's a tremendous idea. I think there's a flip side to that also for streamers who want to... I'll come back to that question in just a minute, Ice Cream Stick Model. There's a flip side to the question about bits of maybe if you make a donation, if you make a donation to whatever charity we're working with, that will activate some sort of a feature on the map as well. And you're not going to go into preview mode. Okay, fine. You were just taking your time starting, I see. So these were considerations. A pin glow or outline for the rest of the stream when you cheer 25 bits. A custom pin appearance. So if you cheer 50 bits, you could choose a star, a heart, some sort of pre-selected icon that you can use. So that once again fits into a similar charity donation thing that I could see working. This I don't think makes sense because if the map isn't live, you can't force that. Same thing with that. This one I think is fun. We could do either pulse some color around the map or have confetti throw on the map or set off fireworks on the map, some sort of accent that you can trigger on the map. A mini map that appears as an extension on. So in order for me to allow bits interactions, I need to create an extension on Twitch. Then I would have a mini map, and then I can force some of those things to happen. Yes. A featured supporter badge on your overlay. Yes, that's very doable. So for the rest of a stream for some duration, you get some sort of a star or something next to. Sure. Be able to create a landmark. Yeah, I think that's very doable. Let folks say, hey, you can cheer 500 bits and add a landmark to wherever you'd like. Sure. And a spotlight. Sure. Stream streaks. Give me some more context there, JP signups. That's okay. There's something that we can detect stream streaks. What would you like to see with stream streaks? Show some sort of an icon. Hey, this person is streaking. They've had how many? You watch a stream 10 times in a row and you get some sort of a charm, a widget, a decoration on your pin on the map. Yeah. Sure. That feels doable. Competition. Maybe. We could also add some sort of an indicator next to a pin for stream streaks. Period. We need to iterate on this idea a little bit. Fireworks sparkler, 1 for each multiple of 10. That could get crazy. We could add stars, rainbows, something that aggregates for every 10 streams. $50 end streams. Let the streamer configure that. Sure. You love the idea of adding multiple pins with moderation. That way we could create entire world tours. I need to improve the world tour. So I got to show you this. So this is the way that the tour was working originally, and I don't like that. I want to have, and I'm not done merging this in. When there's a cluster of pins in a region, I want it to look like this. Hey, here's, in this case, 5 pins in the Seattle region. Let's put up a little highway sign there that says there's 5 pins near Seattle. So when the tour runs, and instead of stopping at each one of these and saying, oh, here's Jeff and Chris and Pam and Terry. No, here's Seattle. There's 5 people in Seattle. Move on. And right for this type of cluster, and there's a nice little ring there, because those numbers could get big. So then we reduce the number of stops on the tour when there's clusters of people. So, thank you. Yeah. So this is slowly growing, and folks like our friend 9.5, the Microsoft Flight Simulator folks have been helping out, testing and iterating on this. Top rank of contributors. We could also have a high score board or a leaderboard that shows who has been pinned the most, who has contributed the most bits towards the map, or donations, or similar interactions over some streamer configured duration. Right? Hey, over the month of June, we've had these folks with the most number of times pinned on the map and so forth. Sure, why not? Right? And that's a feature that folks should be able to control and add and remove from the map. All great ideas. Yep, I'm working on that. I think there's these 2 landmarks here, and you can't see it, it's behind my head here, but if you browse to the site, there's a pin down here, and you can see the list of recent folks that are added, and click and jump right to their pin. So there isn't so much a top list of contributors. I think there's more we can do here with the games. I'm not quite sure what, but it's games as in geographical fun. I could see us maybe picking a location and saying, okay, who's the closest to Guinea? And doing something funny with that. Maybe integrate with GeoGuessr. What if we integrated with GeoGuessr? That could be interesting. That could be fun. Hey, here's a photo from Street View that's near one of the viewers. If you're the viewer and you guess this right, you get 1 point. Because we know how close you are to that, the further away you are from that viewer, you get more points. So, let's think about this. So, if I were to do a GeoGuessr and we were to choose our friend Sean here, he's one of our moderators and he's in Oklahoma. If we were to do a GeoGuessr pin, right, a street view from somewhere in Oklahoma, if Sean guessed it right, he gets 1 point because clearly it's near him. It's his region. However, if Jeremy gets it right, well, Jeremy gets Jeremy gets 2 points because Jeremy's in the same time zone, is in the same region. I might get 2.5 points because I'm a little bit further away. Up here, Surly might get 3 points because he's on a different continent. And Miro might get 4 points because of that distance and so on and so forth. And then it makes GeoGuessr weighted and a little bit more interesting. We could also do word games with locations. You don't just have to guess where you are, you have to guess the viewer. Oh, that's good, Surly Dev. Oh, I like that. Friends, we've definitely pivoted off of working on C# Evolved, but I love these ideas. If an American gets anything right outside of the States, that'd be considered remarkable. Hey, American education ain't as bad as it gonna sound. We got good education in these United States, and when I ask you a question about it and show you the picture, it's gonna be a picture. There's gonna be water on the picture. I want you to get on the phone and call and tell me where you think it is. Okay? Jeez. No, there are Americans that can barely name the 50 states. There are Americans that can barely name the 50 state capitals. And it's awful. It is awful. I like the ideas. I like the idea of integrating GeoGuessr. That's a really good idea, and some of these things to iterate on it. I've only got about 20 minutes left to code here, but let me put those as an issue on the streamer map repository so we can work on it next time. GeoGuessr, like feature, game features. Let's allow a GeoGuessr-like feature game where we'll show a picture from Google Street View near one of the viewers, and the viewers in chat have to guess where they think it is and who is closest to that photo. Period. New line. New line. This way we can learn a little bit about each other's parts of the world and have some fun and create a little bit of a game around this. Period. New line. New line. We can do weighted scoring on this, where the viewer whose pin is closest to the photo gets 1 point for getting it correct. And progressively, as viewers further away get it correct, they get a weighted additional number of points. Period. Let's introduce a spelling game for a geographical point that's near one of our viewers. Period. New line. New line. We can use a similar mechanic to some of the other word guessing games that are on Twitch and provide a similar weighting for folks that are guessing that are near that location and further away. All right. The capital of Oklahoma is O. So there's some really neat things that are actually near Sean in Tulsa that would be fun to put up as landmarks here. And I think we need to allow landmarks to be able to open a search page. Like, I do allow you to put a link with these so that you can open a page, but maybe a landmark. I also need to introduce moderation on this, I think. Yeah. Moondog Dev. How you doing, Moondog? Your small brain can barely remember the wife's birthday. Oh, Moondog. That's why it's in our phone, right? So you can get a warning a month ahead of time. Red alert! Wife's birthday is next month. Moondog, here's how genius I am. I got married in the year 2000. Genius move, and I'll tell you why. The wife asks, "Do you know how many years I've been married?" Yes. All I have to do is look at the current year. 2026. We've been married 26 years. How to make a collect call. As well as guessing where you are and who's closest, you should also have to guess the region, name, state, county, province, and the capital of that. Cut that out, Surly! But there's some cool roadside attractions near Tulsa that Sean has shared with me that they might be fun to be able to show and include an image so that when you do click on it, it doesn't just show, here's the title, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, but here's a photo and a link so you can go and learn more. We can do those things. 1 second here. Daughter texted me. Okay. Oh. Yes, the cement mixer NASA space cap.
I am not a moron. I'm highly intelligent. I just don't always know what I'm doing. Like you, Fritz.
No. Wait. This is a space capsule. A cement truck crashed in Oklahoma. But the mixer is full and solid. Nobody can move this thing. So they just left it there. And somebody took it upon themselves to go and paint it. They actually put... Oh my gosh. They turned it into an art installation. Yeah. So it's just sitting there on the side of the road. Anybody have some dynamite they could use on it? Yes. Adam and Jamie used it up. Nice reference. Nice Mythbusters reference. The Mr. Ed Memorial. Yes, Mr. Ed. There he is, Mr. Ed. A Palomino. So, I like these ideas, and we're going to work on them. I don't have much time left here. I've only got about 15 minutes left to stream, so I can't do it right now. One second. Okay. Did it deploy these things? It fixed that. What else did it fix? What are you doing over here? Oh, yes. The flag. Which label should appear in the top right corner? In development. Gonna have Lois Lane implement it. Fantastic. Go make that happen. Did we push any of these other things? What's with the other code changes and documentation changes that are here on disk and haven't been committed and pushed yet? Question mark. Are they things that need to be included, or should we delete them? Okay. Get that queued up. I think... I also think I want the features on the homepage to be randomly selected and ordered. Let's also make the features on the homepage randomly selected and ordered from different versions of the language. Period. This way, every time somebody visits the page, it randomly shows them some new features. Cue that one up. Get that lined up. I really need to set up and do a little bit of project planning here, I think. Because we've hit a point with the C# Evolved website where there's a bunch of features to look at. But at the same time, man, I want to go back and... Hang on. I have Streamer Map right here. Review the current state of this branch, comma, commit any changes, and push to GitHub. Period. I want to start working on a new feature in a different branch off of main. No, I didn't. Over here. Quickly inventorying. Added it to the shared layout. It renders globally. It doesn't look like it pushed. Don't blanket delete them. Currently have a mix of expected local state files, new requested work, and unrelated substantive edits. Okay, so it's starting on that. Keep and commit soon. Okay. Prepare a commit for those other features that are currently sitting on disk that need to be evaluated and added to the live website. Cue that up too. How's the content being produced? Copilot. I've generated a list of features that I want to have included. They're sitting here in the docs folder. And I asked it, analyze and tell me all the features that aren't on the website. And there was a question from Ice Cream Stick Model earlier about, we don't have anything from .NET 1 and .NET 2. You're right. In my mind, those are too far back to say these are new features. I want to say these are newer features that folks need to look at. So those were kind of the baseline that I was starting from. Auto-implemented properties, yeah, we should comment about those. Dynamic binding. Named and optional parameters, yes. Auto property initialization, sure. Null conditional operator, yes. I think all the null-based operators we should generate. But there's literally dozens of features here that we need to consider adding to the site that are all written in here in the comprehensive gap analysis. So I'll share that link. And like the ones that are marked as critical or high, I'll probably go through first and just tell Copilot, go grab those and create articles for these. And the articles it creates, we need to have a human go through and review because they're not spectacular content. They just aren't. They're kind of lame. So we'll get those reviewed and addressed here. But this is the comprehensive list that will probably add most of these. Not all, but probably most of them. Partial events and constructors, yes. Yes. Right. C# 15 is the latest version that we're going to want to start adding. Null conditional assignment, yeah. Yeah. Right? So, recommended tiers, immediate priority. Like, sure. Go ahead, let's do it. Oh, I'm out of coffee. Crap. You over there, streamer map. GeoGuessr. And I'm gonna have it just start iterating on this idea. Cool. I opened an issue about creating a GeoGuessr-like game that runs on the map. Period. Grab that issue and let's start planning what this feature looks like. I want to have interactions with Twitch chat, the streamer, and some sort of a leaderboard that shows the relative number of points that the folks in chat have gotten for guessing locations correct. Let it plan. Here we go. Let's see, what did it do? Teams implementing it now. What implementing what? Oh, the random appearance of content on the homepage. Yes. Is this deploying another update? Nope. Not yet. So, let it cook. Absolutely, Moondog. Let's plan it out, talk about it, and start adding features. Start adding definitions here. I like it. I like it a lot. So I've got 2 AIs, 2 language models that are running and designing and building these features. But for now, I do need to call it a stream. I need to wrap things up. I have some meetings and things that I need to work on. I'm going to continue working on the C# Evolved website. Let me know what you think. Drop me lines on comments, questions on Twitter, on what's that other thing called? On Twitter, on Discord, all the places. And we'll figure out and evolve it appropriately. It's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. That's better. MySpace. Let me know on MySpace. Friend feed. Drop me an AOL instant message.
Made a tiny miscalculation about your code quality.
Did you?
By tiny, I mean massive.
Charlie is so rude. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network. Who can I get you connected to that might be doing something fun? Huge thanks to Dylan for the raid. Appreciate everybody that stuck around from the raid. Yeah, thank you so much, Miro. Just peeking around here. I think we're going to get you connected with... No. Let's go join Tim. Tim's working on some multiplayer gaming, he says. Take a look. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back on Tuesday with some more live coding, some more cool stuff to work on. I might try and run an Overwatch stream one night. Well, it's either tonight or tomorrow. And tonight I'm not, because I'm getting ready for Vibe Coder Conference tomorrow. I'm keynoting. And tomorrow afternoon, actually, I'll be on a Gunner stream live here. All right? So, get ready to say hi to my friend Tim. And that's right. It's my Wayland Yutani, not Utani. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow, either at the Vibe Coder Conference or right back here for a Gunner stream. And we'll probably work on Streamer Map then. All right? Have a fantastic rest of your day. Wherever you might be, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.